Okay, so this controller is the Victrix Gambit Tournament Dual Core Manic controller. This controller is a very advanced controller. These are the type of controllers that a lot of pro FPS players use. A lot of players who play in High League, Fortnite, Warzone, Call of Duty in general, Valorant. Very high FPS gaming controller right here. This controller is claimed to be the fastest licensed controller on the market. I've left a link down below if you guys are interested in the controller. Amazon literally titles it as their fastest licensed controller. Like, not even in terms of just Xbox, but out of any console at all. So let's get into the unboxing and opening of this controller. I've had this controller for about 6 months so far. I'll leave my honest review of what I think about this controller. If I really do think it's the fastest controller in the world, if I really do feel like it's a good controller in terms of longevity. I've had this controller for about 6 months, so about half a year, almost 6 months, going on 6 months soon, so about half a year, and I'll give you guys my complete honest review when it comes to the Victrix Gambit controller. So if we look at the controller right here, the first thing that we see is a case. This is a traveling case that the controller comes with if you ever want to take your controller on the go. Like I said, it's a tournament controller, so a lot of people want to move around with their controller, and just so your controller doesn't get dirty or dusty, you keep it inside of this case. As you can see, my case is already a little bit dirty, and I don't even know what that is. I think it might be paint. I painted my walls recently. So yeah, it comes with a very nice traveling case. I actually like this case. I've used it a few times, so very important. So if we open up the case, the first thing we see is the controller. So things are kind of messed up a little bit. Just put that back in its place. So as you can see, it comes with the white shell controller. This is completely stock. This is exactly how your controller is going to come when you open it. It comes with the white shell. It comes with the 2 thumbsticks available and 2 replacement thumbsticks. It comes with the regular D-pad that you would see on a normal Xbox controller, but it also gives you the option to replace it if you want to. These are actually called precision aim circles. So when you're playing a game, you can either have your thumbstick completely go round and round like that, or it will ridge it a little bit and get stuck in certain spots while you're aiming. For some people, they like that better. Me personally, it does not matter to me. Okay, so if we take the controller out of the case, this is how it looks. As you can see, the controller also comes with paddles on the back. These are not the stock paddles that it comes with. I will show you the stock paddles it comes with after I replace everything on the controller. This is where the cord goes in. The cord that they send with the controller is a 10-foot long cord, a braided cord. Let me grab that for you guys right now so you can see. Okay, this is the cord that the controller comes with. It's a 10-foot cord, as you can see, braided material. This material makes it so that it's very, very durable and strong. If anybody trips over the cord while you're playing the game, if anybody accidentally, might come up with a pair of scissors and cuts the cord, whatever the case may be, it will not easily break. So this cord has held it down for me time after time. A great cord to use. So let's get back into the controller. So the first thing I want to do with this controller is show you guys how it sounds. So let me bring my microphone a little closer so you guys can hear the sounds of each button of the D-pad, the thumbsticks, the buttons, and the triggers. Okay, so first thing we're going to start off with is the left trigger and the right trigger. So first is the left trigger. Right trigger. As you can see, they sound a little different. Left trigger, right trigger. Left trigger is much louder, so let's get into the buttons. Left button, right button. A, B, Y, X, thumbsticks. For the most part, all the buttons sound pretty much the same. The thumbsticks sound pretty much the same as well. The D-pad barely makes any noises at all. Start button, back button, and this is your share button that has started to come with all the new controllers, and I really appreciate this button a lot, because if you get a clip in a certain game that you're playing, instead of having to download a third-party screen recording software, you can just click this button right here. It will automatically record your clip for you and you can publish it wherever you would like to publish it. So now what I'm going to do is replace all the parts on this controller to show you how it looks with the extra parts that they send you inside of the box. Okay, so as you can see here, this is the completely revamped, replaced with the new parts that they sent me. This is how the controller looks now. It comes with a purple shell. This purple shell is actually very smooth. It feels very like silky like. So when you have the controller in your hands for a long time, it doesn't tend to, you know, wear out your hands, or it doesn't make your hands feel very sweaty or tired. This actually feels very cool and cold, probably because I haven't used it for a long time, but also the type of material it is. These thumbsticks are meant for better precision and better aim during your gameplay. Like I said earlier in the video, this controller is built for FPS games. So what this thumbstick does is it gives you better sensitivity while you're shooting at someone. So sometimes you might go a little off. You know, you might be shooting at somebody and the recoil makes your aim seem like it's bad, but your aim is actually not bad. It's really just the recoil. So it basically just gives you better aim when you're shooting at somebody. Also, what I did is I replaced the back paddles on the controller. As you can see, these were the old paddles. This was the original one. As you can see, it's only 2 buttons. So meaning if I push it this way, it's 1 button. If I push it this way, it's 1 button. But instead, with these, they split it into 2 on each side. So that way you have 4 extra buttons on the back instead of the 2 that you had before. What I also love about this controller is it comes with trigger stops. If you don't know what trigger stops are, is if I push this button, I could measure my trigger on how low I want it to go, let go, and now you can see my trigger will stop right there every time. If I want it to go all the way to the bottom, I adjust my trigger stop all the way down, let go. Now my trigger goes all the way down. It's better for shooting games because when I'm shooting at somebody, I don't want to have the delay of having to wait until this goes all the way down for me to finally be able to shoot the person in the game, when I could just do this and now I have a faster shot than everybody in the game. So I like that. Okay, before we actually get into the gameplay and show you what this controller can actually do in game, I'm gonna give an honest review of this controller right now. Okay, the Victrix Gambit controller, in my opinion, really great controller. In terms of look, it looks amazing. Just look at it. Black and purple accents all over throughout the controller. If somebody's seen this controller in real life, guarantee if they have the money, they are buying this controller just by the way it looks. In terms of performance, I can't say I see too much of a difference from my other controllers. It quotes to be the fastest licensed controller in the world, but I can't really back that statement up because when I use it, it seems just as quick as any other controller I would use. Another thing that I could say that I don't really like about this controller is the length of it. As you can see, the controller is very lengthy in terms of the width of it. I'm going to show you the controller compared to a regular Xbox controller and you will see exactly what I'm talking about. So this is the standard Xbox controller. As you can see, it's much more slim in the aspect of it's not as long. It's more so shorter than the Victrix Gambit controller was. And even though it's a lot heavier and a little bit fatter as well, my hands can touch every single button on the controller in terms of me not having to stretch my fingers too much in order to hit a button. As you can see, I can easily hit every button if I'm trying to. And also, I'm a person who plays claw, so when I play claw, it's much easier for me to be able to touch every single button rather than on the Victrix Gambit controller. You know, as you can see, my right hand is a little bit leaning over because of how wide the controller is. It's not too bad. However, I do prefer the regular standard Xbox controller in terms of the way it feels over the Victrix Gambit controller. Another thing I could say I dislike about this controller after 6 months of using it is, yes, I did already develop stick drift. If you guys don't know what stick drift is basically when your controller has magnetical problems on the inside, and when you're just standing still in a game, you can see your character slightly moving forward even though you're not touching anything on the controller. It can also happen with your right stick as well. If you're in a game and somehow your character's aim thing is just moving up or moving down, that most likely 9 times out of 10 means you have controller stick drift. I've already got stick drift with this controller. I actually called Victrix Gambit myself through their phone number and asked them if I can get a replacement, since it hadn't been that long since I got the controller, and they actually told me no. They told me I couldn't get a replacement and I had to stick with the controller because I didn't have warranty on it. But I felt like even without the warranty, it was not that long since I had this controller, so I really feel like they should have gave me an extra one. But you know what? I'm not gonna complain about it. This controller isn't even my main controller. In my next video, I will show you guys the fix to controller stick drift. There's a controller out there right now that you can use for however long you want to, and it will never get stick drift. I will show you guys that in the next video, so make sure you tune in. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get into some gameplay of this controller. We're gonna play certain games such as Fortnite, such as Valorant, games that require you to be aiming a lot or aiming the whole time, and I will show you guys if this is a good controller or a bad controller. Okay, thank you guys for tuning into my review of the Victrix dual core Gambit controller. As you guys can see from my compilation that I put together for Fortnite, the controller is not too bad. Like I said, don't judge me because Fortnite's a game that I'm not really too good at, but I just wanted to show you guys how it performs in FPS games. Just to mention some things that I may have not mentioned before, this controller retail price at $100. It's on Amazon for $100. You can order it right now. If you have Amazon Prime, you can get it the next day. Another thing I may not have spoke about during the video is the headphone jack, the 3.5mm jack. It's actually very good. I haven't had any real issues with it, not yet at least, but if I was to recommend this controller for you guys, me personally, I would say to maybe look for better options. Not saying that this is a bad controller, but like I told you guys, only 6 months into this controller, and I've already developed stick drift. It may not have shown too much in the gameplay because I know how to control it a little better now, but the stick drift is a very huge problem in terms of controllers today. And if you tune into my next video that I'm going to upload, I have a controller that will never ever develop stick drift. So make sure you guys tune in. If you like today's video, please just leave a like for me. That's all you have to do. You don't really have to do anything else. Thank you for watching, and enjoy the rest of your day.